clear to me now, Mr. Krabs?
It is?
Yes! I finally realized that I can do it! I can do it, Mr. Krabs! I'm a failure!
Don't talk like that.
Don't you get it, you crustaceous cheapskate? I can't make a double Krabby Patty with the works. I can't put a patty on a bun with lettuce, cheese, onions, tomatoes, ketchup, mustard, pickles, and top bun together in that order. I can't put a patty on a bun with lettuce, cheese, onions, tomatoes, ketchup, mustard, pickles, and top bun together in that order.
Get back to work. We got orders waiting.
Attention! Attention! And now we welcome to the grand trivia stage our great leader, our grand Aquarium Emperor, the trivia master of this age, the past age, the upcoming age, and ages unknown. Please welcome Grand Triviamaster Fluval. Oh, that was a bad noise. Sorry, Master. Let's try again. Fluval. Oh, that's not so. We must find the noise to pay tribute to all 5 dimensions you hold in your control. Yes, the fake trumpet for Fluval.
Hello and welcome to Grand Trivia, the only trivia show in any dimension where the points do matter and losing will cost you everything. I'm Fluval and anything. Fluval, Grand Triviamaster of the Grand Aquarium Empire, and with me, as always, is Intern Coco. Hello, Intern Coco.
Hello, I'm Intern Kristie. Hello.
You're muted.
Fluval.
Yeah?
Is this thing on?
Now it is.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Intern Kristie. So glad to be here on this beautiful late night Fluval.
Get ready for some...
Get ready for real comedy fun.
Real comedy fun.
Get ready for
That's
real comedy
right.
fun.
I have been granted speech. Thanks so much. I'm Intern
Yeah,
Kristie.
trying to silence Coco. Who am I, Jay Leno?
Are we not quite full screen?
There we go.
are. There we are. Thank you. I know. You want to see us full screen. Because
That's the kind of
we're
experimental comedy you can only find here on Radio Free Multiverse. Look at this. Why aren't we full screen?
amazing. That's a good question.
Why aren't we full screen? Why aren't we full
that
screen?
Someone might
Why aren't we
be
full
stealing
screen?
part of the screen from
Well,
us.
Jay Leno doesn't want us to have the full screen anymore.
Yeah.
And so it's not full anymore.
Not quite.
But if you want to fight against the villainous Leno, you can go to crowd.live and page not found.
To page not found.
You can go to page not found.
What's the theme tonight?
It's
Fluval?
late night trivia.
That's right.
Trivia all about late night talk shows. Oh, I see. It logged itself out, so I got to log back into it. That's what's going on.
And Fluval, I'm
What?
so excited to get to hear some of the
Yeah.
things you'll be debuting.
No, I have jokes. They're going to make a TV debut tonight on Grand Trivia. They've never been seen on any dimensions
No
broadcast.
dimension before, not deep into the eyes of any
No.
household pets.
No, nary a household pet. Am I doing a monologue of a sort, but not at the start?
Not at the start, because that's the kind
Much
of
like-
offbeat comedy you're gonna get here tonight.
Much like Late Night with David Letterman, we were explicitly forbidden from doing any format that is what Johnny Carson does.
Really?
Yeah, Late Night with David Letterman wasn't allowed to do a monologue because Johnny Carson didn't want him competing with the Tonight Show. Like, Johnny didn't even want a talk show on after the Tonight Show at all.
Okay.
But he specifically forbid the Late Show with David Letterman, or Late Night with David Letterman, not the Late Show, Late Night with David Letterman from doing anything, and that's why he didn't have a monologue. He had opening remarks.
Opening remarks. Oh. What are your opening remarks, Fluval?
What?
Do you have opening remarks for us? Like how long a fifth dimensional type 5 is?
What are my opening remarks, huh?
Yeah.
My
what are
opening
your
remarks.
opening
Well,
remarks?
I mean, obviously, my opening remarks are that you should go to crowd.live and enter the code LKR3P so you can play against the Missy Baiting Bear, Amoinus Franco. I can't monologue, but check out my Thaco. Carson Daly. Did you hear about this?
Do you hear about this?
You hear about this? Jeff Peterson, the gay robot skeleton, who of course co-hosted The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson. And I'm with Coco Walk Run. And did you know Craig Ferguson wasn't even the first Craig to host The Late Late Show?
Really? Really? Who was the first Craig?
Craig Kilborn, who was also the original host of The Daily Show.
Kilborn. Okay.
Craig Ferguson was the first Craig to host it and have it be good, though. Craig Kilborn also very into Morrissey.
Okay.
Loved Morrissey, a trait he shares with fellow late night host Chris Gethard.
So, Fluval.
What?
Tell me, what was, like, of course you experience all of time all at once.
Yeah.
But you
Everything,
also
everywhere, all at once.
experience time linearly when you choose to.
Sure, yeah.
And when you were choosing to experience it linearly,
I had to do it. I was Intern Forrest was also obsessed with Craig Kilborn's show.
but what was the first late night show you ever saw?
The Daily Show, if it counts.
The Daily Show, if it counts.
No, yeah.
I suppose.
The Daily Show
same.
kind of counts, but I mean, like traditional, it was Letterman. Intern
Traditional, it
Forrest
was Letterman.
Intern
Okay.
Forrest was very into Letterman.
Okay.
Intern Forrest loved the Late Show with David Letterman
Okay.
because it wasn't like the Late Show with David Letterman wasn't as weird as Late Night with David Letterman had been, because he had Late Night before Conan.
Okay.
But like it was still weird. Like there was still Will It Float, which was an elaborate segment that like had pyrotechnics and everything, and just built to them dropping an object in a giant tub of water to see if it would float or not, and that was it.
I mean, I'm here for that.
They dropped stuff off the roof of the building, of like the Ed Sullivan Theater, like watermelons and stuff. They just dropped it off the roof.
Love that.
He interviewed the guy who owned the deli next door all the time. He like became a recurring character.
Love that.
But like on Late Night, he wore a suit made of Alka-Seltzer and jumped into a giant tub of water.
Amazing.
He wore a suit made of Velcro and like attached himself to a wall.
Okay, I definitely read that, Valerie, as give you a bottle of wine.
yeah.
While watching Letterman, I was like, wow, that's one way to rear a child.
He when GE was looking like they were going to sell NBC, he and a camera crew just like forced their way into GE headquarters to interview people and ask if they were going to sell NBC.
Amazing.
He did a lot of like stuff that is a lot weirder than and he was the Late Show is actually also where Intern Forrest was introduced to Amy Sedaris.
Oh, okay.
Because Amy Sedaris was a regular recurring guest on the Late Show and just made up a whole fake life. Like
Incredible.
all of her anecdotes were made up. She had like a story arc with her boyfriend who she eventually married and then I think died that was all fake.
Okay.
Like Letterman ended up becoming kind of a stodgy institution and also has some creepy, some sexual harassment allegations against him. So, but he was weirder when he started. And then Conan kind of took the like weird comedy thing and like ran with it. Conan was definitely Intern Forrest's favorite. Especially like Conan during the writer's strike was incredible, where he would zip line over down to his desk every night instead of doing the monologue and add a new obstacle every episode. He zip lined down, and so by the end he was like zip lining through a hoop, like a loop of fire, and all that. Conan and the right. Yeah, exactly. Early Steve Allen was harkening back to because the modern format of the Tonight Show was Carson's.
Okay.
Because like Steve Allen, who hosted it before Steve Allen was the first host, and then Jack Parr, and then Carson. And Steve Allen's was very experimental and weird. Parr's was like politics opinion stuff and was shorter lived.
Okay.
And then Carson took over and introduced the monologue and all of that stuff that became the staples of late night. So really, all the staples of the traditional late night show are people filling in Carson's suit, essentially.
Okay.
And then the trio, there was a fight where Conan, Jon Stewart, and Colbert had a brawl through the backstage of Conan's studio.
That's fun.
That was very good, and there was a multi-week rivalry in the lead up to it where they did wrestling style promos against each other on their shows and stuff.
Incredible.
Yeah, I saw a Conan taping once. He liked my laugh and talked at me during his post show thing where he wandered in the audience. He promised to hire me to laugh at him. Where's my call, Conan? I mean, he needs a friend.
He does.
And you're in LA, so he should hire you. That's super sick.
Yeah.
No, Conan seems great. But yeah, and then Intern Forrest never really liked Leno in any sort of sincere way. Because Leno always seemed like a hack. But now what's interesting in the book, The Late Shift, is that the author talks about how before Leno kind of gave Letterman his start on stage. Like when Letterman first moved from Indiana, Leno identified him as like a great comic and like gave him stage time at the store and stuff and like helped build his career. And then Carson kicked Leno off of the Tonight Show because Carson bombed too much because he was too nervous. And then and then he started going on Letterman, and so Letterman kind of revived his TV career. And so they were like intertwined since the beginning, basically, in LA, since they first moved to LA. And like Leno went on, because what happened is Leno killed in his first appearance and then ran out of material. And so his sets just got worse and worse the more he was on the show. Whereas Letterman was like, I got to have a good 30 minutes set before I appear on to do my first 5-minute slot on the Tonight Show. Because they're going to want me back if I kill it. So I got to have killer material for like 4 more appearances lined up.
Okay.
You know?
This is wise.
And so Letterman was always much more methodical in terms of his comedy, whereas Leno just was a big shot. Like Leno was a rock star in LA's stand-up scene before he was on TV at all. And so he like nonetheless, and he actually, NBC's contract guaranteed Leno the Tonight Show before Carson had even left.
So he didn't even need to do anything.
No, he did. Because Carson produced The Tonight Show, and Carson wanted Letterman. So it very much becomes a fight between NBC and Carson Productions on who will succeed Carson. Yeah, there's also Jiminy Glick.
Jiminy. Okay.
All Jay Leno does is sit in his bright white garage, J.O. into cars, and says a ghost bro. Well, you can join our game of trivia and also play against the people we mentioned earlier, as well as the Fork Knifely Show, Jay Leno from the Closet, the Jon Stewart Bro, and Kevin Eubanks. Comedian in car getting cum, says Sleepy Zane. You hear about this? You hear about this? But now let's get our game started with your first question after, of course. Nope. Ending that countdown. Because we can't start the show without the iconic crowd per gong. That would be like the Tonight Show starting without Doc Severinsen's iconic Johnny Carson theme.
The iconic crowd per gong.
Yeah, that's right. After midnight is ending. And CBS isn't programming anything in the 12:30 slot. So the slot birthed by David Letterman is ending. But which late night host hid in a closet to listen to network discussions about whether they'd give him a show? Was that Chevy Chase, David Letterman, Jay Leno, or Johnny Carson?
Well, I'm glad that I didn't explain what he did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We can talk through that after this question. Scene here is is Vincent Price dressed similarly to Doctor Strange, popping out of the closet. Robbie was great on After Midnight, too. Robbie Hoffman, of course, kills it there. Eagle-eared viewers may have noticed a viewer give this answer away.
Ho, 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 ho. 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. Jinkies.
No, yeah, it didn't get canceled. It was Taylor left because Taylor Tomlinson wanted to focus more on stand-up.
Fair enough.
Rather than having to also fit a late-night show and everything. And I mean, apparently she had reservations about taking it over in the first place because of how it could interfere with her stand-up career. Also, apparently Gary Shandling was in the running to get the Tonight Show, but then he got his Showtime show. It's Gary Shandling's show, and was like, I cannot do this and a daily, nightly talk show. So, but now let's see what y'all picked here. 2 of you said Chevy Chase. 3 of you said David Letterman. 6 of you said Jay Leno. 1 of you said Johnny Carson. The correct answer is, in fact, Jay Leno.
I like how so many
Yeah.
of you got that wrong.
Yeah, like half of you got it wrong, even though it was literally someone's name on the leaderboard. I know, bad for the Chris Gethard show runner J.D. Amato, and bad for Sam Taggart, who's also on that show. And Joe Firestone was the head writer. Like, After Midnight has so many Gethard alum. But
This
the
is
correct
true.
answer to Who Hid in the Closet was Jay Leno, as noted in Vanity Fair. On the night of January 6, 1992, in a feat of corporate espionage chronicled in Bill Carter's book on the late night wars, The Late Shift, Leno hid in a closet-like office beneath his Burbank studio to listen in on a conference call taking place among NBC executives. They were discussing who should follow Johnny Carson as the host of The Tonight Show, Leno or David Letterman. While they argued, Leno took notes on what people thought on him and of his show. Carter reported, best of all, he knew exactly who was for him and who was against him. Yep, I'm an asshole. Well, they already killed off the Late Late Show. After Midnight killed that. But
Murdering that time slot.
yes. And now I do think this is a very funny headline that Vanity Fair used in the article I quoted. Jay Leno, Revenge of the Everyman.
What?
Famed normal man Jay Leno.
Famed normal human. Jay
CBS,
Leno.
the man where CBS was like, we want you to do a show on our channel. Here's a vintage motorcycle with a plaque on the gas tank thanking you for coming to CBS. And it didn't work.
Just a regular guy.
Twice Jay Leno has gone up against NBC executives willing to get rid of him, and twice he has pulled out a win. Both times he worked toward victory with the help of a deceptive ploy. And then in January 21st, and then there's also the whole thing where he forced out Conan.
Jay Leno.
Oh, yeah.
The man who looks like he was drawn
Yeah,
by
here we
a
go.
child.
Jay Leno put on a disguise so he put on a bald cap, glasses, and a goatee and showed up at an NBC press conference and asked NBC, when's Leno's last show? Well, I figure we'll get right to that. Jay's last show will be May 29th, 2009. That's a Friday. And Conan's first show, as host of The Night Show, will be on June 1st, 2009, the next Monday night. Will Leno be paid the rest of the year? Yeah, sure, yeah. Now, Brett Favre retired, and then he wanted to come back, and the Packers said no. What do you make about that? Grab off. Well, everyone's entitled to change their mind, but I would imagine that puts management in an impossible situation. The act of disguising himself to put one of his own bosses on the spot was seen as a somewhat unfunny stunt, but it had the effect of focusing the attention on the absurdity of NBC's late-night plan at the time.
He stole welfare?
Yeah.
What's that mean? How?
Fraud.
Oh, like he signed up for welfare and didn't, need it? Or, was making money?
I'll show you.
Or, stole
Well, especially
the
if you're
institution
Jay Leno.
welfare.
Like, Jay Leno is such a distinctive-looking man. Brett Favre testified about allegedly misusing welfare funds for volleyball arena.
What the fuck?
Hall of Famer Fred Favre, no, it's Brett Favre, testified Tuesday in Congress in a case involving welfare dollars allegedly being used to build a volleyball arena in Mississippi.
What the fuck?
So yeah, he got federal welfare funds. He got $1 million in speaking fees for events that he never actually attended. And as I mentioned in the info, about $5 million in TANF funds were redirected to the University of Southern Mississippi, where Brett Favre was an alumnus and where his daughter was on the volleyball team to fund a volleyball stadium.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. Speaking of guys who pull craven stunts.
Fred Barf.
Yeah, remember and then the Jay Leno show was born, and then he forced out Coco.
William Howard Tampf.
William Howard Tampf. I agree. They should just give it to Conan. Speaking of guys who pull, Jay Leno pulled Mavis.
like a liar.
Did he?
Mavis is his wife.
Oh. Like a liar?
Like a liar. No, Mavis is his longtime wife.
Oh, okay.
Mavis is his actual wife. Not is that why? That's why Scott Aukerman's wife is Mavis, isn't it?
Oh. I thought her name was just Mavis.
No, no. Scott's wife is Kulap Velaysak.
I also did not know that Mavis was a name until very recently.
What about Mavis Beacon?
Well, exactly. I didn't realize that Mavis was this person's name.
You thought she was Beacon with the rank Mavis?
I had no idea what that group of
Let's give the show to the
words
worst
meant.
SNL cast member instead. I mean, that's a brilliant idea if you ask me.
I did not put together that Mavis Beacon related to the person on the software.
And in first place, it's Jay Leno from The Closet, who understandably got that right. The Missy Baiting Bear in second, Amoynis Franco in third, Carson Daly in fourth, Jeff
wonder
Peterson,
why.
the gay robot skeleton in fifth, Paul Schaefer's glasses in sixth. Paul Schaefer is Letterman's band leader, who is also Hermes in Hercules. CBC in seventh, LeBlago in eighth, The Fork Knifely Show in ninth, I'm with Coco Walk Run in 10th, Kevin Eubanks in 11th. I can't do a monologue, but check out my Thaco in 12th. The Jon Stewart Bro in 13th. And did you hear about this? Bringing up the rear in 14th as we go to question number 2. What did a young Bryson Wallace want to tell Conan O'Brien? Type in your answer.
Type it in!
What would a young Bryson Wallace tell Coco? Bryson was an intern with The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien. Was the intern with Conan O'Brien, The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien. And what would he tell Conan when he was on the picket line? Byron, get in here. Yeah, that's Bryson. Uncle Bryson is Bryson Wallace. LOL, Uncle B.
What is he doing with his hair right there?
He's moving his forehead and it moves his hair.
Is that real?
Yeah,
Can other humans do that?
he can. I can't. I don't have hair. But yeah, Bryson was an intern on The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien. Conan is a weird guy, yeah. Also, if you haven't seen it, check out Conan's Hot Ones.
Wait, I can't do that.
Conan's Hot Ones is the only reason that show needed to exist.
Why can't I do that?
I don't know, your skin's not as flexible as Conan's?
But it's in roughly the same
Move your ears.
geography. How do
Wiz
what?
says move your ears. That's how you do it.
They're not moving. I promise I'm trying.
Yeah, Conan's are moving. See? Conan's ears are moving. I don't have ears. But Intern Forrest can't move his ears either.
It's not working, is it?
There is one later, yeah. No, it's not working at all.
I swear I am trying. Not everyone can move their ears, can they?
No.
I mean, clearly.
It's a muscle
But-
kind of at the back of your ear.
Can you move your ears, Wiz?
Conan is basically a professional mime and clown. He can do lots of funny things. I assume he's practiced. Maybe he was born with it. At pulls, it moves back the scalp.
Can everyone just do this?
Intern Forrest can't do it.
I feel like I'm trying to see do a Superman X-ray thing. I'm just
Can't do it, but I also can't do a bunch of facial expressions either, says Sleepy Zane. Me either. I can move my ears, but not my scalp like Conan.
okay. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I cannot, says Potatoes Molasses. Well, let's see who could answer this question correctly. I'm with Coco.
Only 3?
Well, 3 of you say I'm with Coco.
Leno is going to fuck you. He'll fuck you.
One of you said hi. One of you say Jay Leno is going to fuck you. He'll fuck you. Someone said I'd probably say I'm with Coco. One says eat my shorts. One says nobody's gonna watch an Irishman kid. Someone says I guess I would just say that I'm with Coco. And someone said I love you. I am not about to be put on some government list admitting what I can and cannot do with my sort of behind the ear muscles, says Things from the Void. Well, let's find out what Bryson would have said.
Man, what would I tell Conan? I'd probably just tell him that I'm with Coco. That's pretty much all I would
guys, we're back.
We're still here. For some reason, the system decided that was the exact.
On Wiener Dude Alert, on Wiener Dude Alert.
It's everyone's favorite. It's Boredom Days. And boredom is just 59 cents. Hurry on, Wiener Dudes. Come to Boredom Days. Only at On Wiener Schnitzel. The pretzel war between Auntie Anne's and Wetzel's Pretzels was fought in 116,000 different places, from Stonestown in California, Access things
the
anymore,
Cool
and then I
Springs
refreshed it, it
Galleria in
worked.
Tennessee.
Wow.
More than
Yeah.
69 trillion mall rats fought in it. Huge foraging armies swept across mall food courts, leaving Sbarro's barren. The pretzel war
system
made some
is
rich,
down.
ruined
The
others,
system
and
is
changed the
down.
lives of all mall rats forever. A lackluster cashier from Illinois who in 3
I
years
know you hear
became the
me.
general of Auntie Anne's army. A student who rose to become Wetzel's head lich and pretzelmancer. The courtly aristocrat who believed too much sodium was bad for your diet, but whose passion for dessert pretzels forced her to pick a side. What began as a bitter dispute over pretzel ingredients ended as a struggle over the meaning of the mall itself. The Pretzel War. Check your local dimensional listing.
No, it was a timed one.
Ha!
And basically, yeah, it was like, oh, this is when we'd like to disconnect all your devices for no reason, even though nothing has changed. So support us at Radio Free Multiverse, patreon.com/Radio Free Multiverse. Oh,
What
you
is
have?
this clip?
I think it's our disconnection.
I don't remember most
Oh, it's
of
you
that
doing the ear.
song. Oh, it's just me, like, looking constipated?
Yeah, let's
like-
watch it.
I'm trying so hard.
Can't do it, but I also can't do a bunch of facial expressions either, says Sleepy Zane. Me either. I can move my ears, but not my scalp like Conan.
Okay. I can't do it.
Well, spread the word about that clip so all your friends watch the show. Because as you see, the correct answer is I'm with Coco. But I'm going to give it to I'd probably say I'm with Coco. And, well, I guess I would say that I'm with Coco because you clearly knew it. And so that means that Carson Daly gained the most points on that question, gaining 795 points, while the Misty Baiting Bear lost the most points, losing 807, meaning our top 5 currently is Carson Daly, Jeff Peterson, the gay robot skeleton, Jay Leno from the closet, Moinas Franco, and LeBlago.
Yes, Wes. When I was 4, I didn't know how to snap my fingers, so I made a snap noise with my mouth while moving my fingers. I wish I could do that with my ears.
Intern Forrest still
What if
doesn't
I
know
do?
how to snap.
What? Wait, even if I pull my...
Your skin's just tighter than Conan's.
I
Your
know it
scalp's
looks
moving,
a little better.
but not like Conan. It's not moving like Conan. Intern Forrest still can't snap, but can kind of whistle.
Okay.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, I
If-
cannot whistle.
Let's see if you can answer question number 3. CBS gave which of these game show hosts a late night talk show in the 80s? Was that Alex Trebek, Pat Sajak, Regis Philbin, or Richard Dawson? Who and this person did so badly that CBS started trying to woo Jay Leno
Oh, in the 80s. I
in
was
the
like
80s. Yeah.
Regis and Kelly, of course.
Well, that's not a late night show either. But they were trying to woo Jay Leno to do a show on CBS, and he said no.
What's Rove Live?
Oh, it's Carl Rove's sex show.
What the fuck? Wait.
Yeah.
One, who's Carl Rove?
Carl Rove is the Bush strategist
Okay,
who helped
that's
destroy
what I
the
thought,
country.
And I was like, there's no way.
Yeah. Oh, it's an Australian Tonight show.
With Carl Rove?
No. Just called that.
okay.
No, different Rove.
Okay.
Turd Blossom was not on that show. That was Bush's nickname for him, was Turd Blossom. with Rove
Why?
McManus, who is majorly just okay. Sounds like many American talk show hosts. But anyway, let's see what you picked. Who had a late night show on CBS in the 80s? None of you said Alex Trebek. 11 of you said Pat Sajak, and Pat Sajak is correct.
Pat Sajak.
And
What did he game show?
Wheel of Fortune. And when Rush Limbaugh guest hosted the show, the audience was so rowdy and rebellious against him that the show escorted all of the crowd out during the break. Because Pat Sajak's conservative, yeah. Pat Sajak does also suck. But here's...
Look at that.
This is Limbaugh.
Stretched man.
Wait a second. Ultimately, affirmative
Did you hear that? You're a racist pig and a murderer, too.
action is an insult. Sir, please sit down. We'll get to you in good time.
That's not true, Wiz. He was a racist pig.
Why do you have to murder people with AIDS? Why do you have to murder women? And why do you have to murder people?
Why?
Why do you have to murder people? He wants people to die.
He died.
He does.
He did.
He did.
Look at him just have to take it.
Yeah.
Sir,
Fried chicken noodles. You take the battery out.
sir,
Take the battery out of him.
I am not responsible for your behavior.
That's right.
Like, yeah, he's not.
And they're all clapping for the audience now. It's great.
No one, try to discuss the issues with them. It's impossible. We'll take a commercial break and we'll be back and try to continue this again. Don't go away.
Yeah, and then...
Studio of the audience in order to be able to conclude this final segment of the program. What you saw tonight.
And then they have to remove everyone for him to sign off. He has so little ability to control the audience that he has to do the sign off in an empty studio. And that's excellence in broadcasting. Unable to control the audience, so I have to get security to escort them out.
Literally all of them.
Literally, my entire audience revolted around about me because I'm excellent in broadcasting,
Right?
friends.
I feel like the breath of life breathes back into me with that main guy who's like, why do you want to kill women?
That was great. That was great.
Yes.
And another fun anecdote related to the Pat
Right?
Sajak show from the book is the executives getting frustrated
Yes.
with Pat Sajak as his ratings are tanking and Pat Sajak doesn't care because Pat Sajak still has Wheel of Fortune. And so he's like, whatever, man. This is my second gig. And the executives just being like, I've never seen a less ambitious man in television in my life.
Wow.
It's so funny. It's so funny. I started reading it
Yes,
for research,
redactron.
and I didn't expect for just so many people to be like, Pat Sajak sucks. Not even politically, though he did, but just like, he sucks. We hated working with him. He had no energy. He didn't care about the show at all. And so, yeah, that was what happened to Rush Limbaugh.
That's so funny.
And the Misty Baiting Bear gained the most points on that question. Yeah, now Pat Sajak just plays in Hawaii. He just does plays. now.
Gross.
Yeah, Pat Sajak doesn't touch his Wheel of Fortune money. He lives off Leno's stand-up. Exactly. No, yeah, he sucks politically as well.
I definitely read that as he sucks dick politely. I don't know where I got he sucks dick politely from what you wrote there, Mask, but that's what
Wait a sec.
I feel like the spirit of that is there. No, he wouldn't do anything politely. Mar-a-Lago boy, gross.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in climate change either.
Gross.
And he's written for the conservative magazine Human Events.
Ew. No, grotesque, repulsive.
Yeah,
We hate
and
this.
he funds conservative speakers on college campuses as well.
Grotesque.
And he specifically said, I'm really glad I didn't. Politics doesn't touch my show.
He can't even turn the letters.
Yeah, Vanna really is the engine of that. I mean, look, it says a lot when they have to replace you. Everyone is like, oh yeah, Ryan Seacrest can do your job.
Oh yeah.
That's not,
But when Vanna had to be replaced, I remember
well, Vanna's
that.
still on it.
She is?
Yeah.
I remember people talking about whether or not she would be replaced then.
They talked
And they
about
were like, I don't know though.
they talked about just replacing her with a machine that turns the letters.
No, you can't do that.
No, I mean, yeah, Vanna feels so much harder to replace than him,
Like,
which is very funny. But you know who else was hard to replace?
who?
The subject of our next question. Just kidding, they were easy. Which of these hosts' late night shows lasted longest, Chevy Chase or Joan Rivers? Who had a late night show longer, Joan Rivers or Chevy Chase? I agree that she should have become the host, though.
Yep.
I think that was why there was talk about replacing her, is it was like, if she becomes the host, who flips the letters? Gotta be Joan, says H-Dub.
Gotta be Joan.
Shit.
Shit.
Tuh.
Tuh.
Says Mask for Mask.
Shit.
Joan Rivers
Tuh.
show sounds great, TBH. Well, funnily enough, Joan Rivers show was called The Late Show with Joan Rivers, but it's not The Late Show with David Letterman. It was called The Late Show with Joan Rivers, and it was on Fox. She was sabotaged by Carson.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, because Joan was the regular guest host of The Tonight Show.
Yeah.
And then Fox went to her to give her a show. And she didn't tell Carson because she was not legally allowed to tell anyone about it. And so Carson blackballed her from Hollywood
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
And that's
Because
why
he's grotesque.
that's why Jay Leno became the guest host and why
And it
Letterman became the guest
broke
host.
Her heart.
Yeah. She always publicly did not blame Carson, even though it was Carson.
It was him.
Yeah.
It was him. And
But
it
she
was
liked
his
him and
fault.
did,
Yeah.
Yeah, they never talked again. So
And that's why I only knew her as the jewelry lady.
No.
That my mom
I'm
and
just
grandmother
saying-
watched on QVC every time she was on.
All I'm saying is she was jealous when Carson stole the Tonight Show from her, just like Gethard's been very generous towards John Mulaney when he stole the format from him. But that's all I'm saying is all. I knew her from Spaceballs first too, I think, as Dot Matrix.
I did not know that she was a comedian. All
Mm-hmm.
I knew was that when she was on QVC, it was bearable to watch.
Goodbye, Virgin Alarm. That was a Spaceballs joke. Spaceballs is also the first Mel Brooks movie Intern 4 I saw.
Oh.
Number 1 was Spaceballs. Number 2 was Robin Hood Men in Tights. And after that, probably like Blazing Saddles.
I think mine was Robin Hood Men in Tights.
I mean, Men in Tights is the best thing Dave Chappelle's ever done.
Yeah.
I heard John Mulaney has a giant fish on his show now.
Sounds like Mulaney.
Sounds like Mulaney. I bet he... I bet that John Mulaney said he made up.
Yes, Maria Osmond, who sculpts dolls.
Yeah, she does.
You can tell it's a doll sculpted by her if it has a beauty mark under its eye.
I heard that
her mother had one.
I heard that John Mulaney said he made up the human fish.
You know, like a liar.
You know,
like
a liar.
Like a liar. Anyway, let's see whose Tonight Show run lasted longest, or late night show lasted longest.
Ew.
2 of you said Chevy Chase, 10 of you said Joan Rivers. The correct answer is Joan Rivers. She hosted Fox The Late Show with Joan Rivers from October 9th, 1986 to May 1987, while the Chevy Chase Show ran on Fox for 6 fabulous weeks.
Ha!
6 fabulous weeks. Why did we get small?
Get ready for real comedy fun.
Did you hit a button?
No.
It keeps changing our scene.
I'm not hitting.
I know it's not you, but it keeps changing our scene to this one.
Wait. No.
Yeah, weird. Okay.
I thought it was when I was highlighting a
it's
comment.
not. It's just a bug. It's you know,
StreamYard shitifying because they now have a paid tier.
Ever since the console got bought by private equity, it's really gone downhill. I don't know if they're private equity, actually. Is Bending Spoons private equity? Because Bending Spoons, who bought Evernote, made Evernote worse, bought StreamYard.
Yeah.
And also made StreamYard worse.
Oh, that's why Evernote sucks?
Yeah, they also own WeTransfer now.
Oh, that's why
WeTransfer's gotten worse. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ah.
They own Issue, a Danish-founded American electronic publishing company. The space tariffs are taking it. Well, you're right. That's a good point. Yeah, that's what's going to happen with StreamYard, too, is they doubled the price. But there aren't good alternatives for this type of streaming on multiple houses where everyone can control it, you know? So we got to figure that out. What, you mean this one? That one?
Was it beef or queen?
Great question.
And shitification.
You know, I heard that you betray the law. I heard that John Mulaney is actually playing a game where you have to tell if it's a fish or a vagina. And that's something making its TV debut. On our leaderboard, where Jay Leno from The Closet is in first, Jeff Peterson, the gay robot skeleton, in second, LeBlago in third, the Missy Baiting Bear in fourth, and Amoynis Franco in fifth. Jay Leno from The Closet, that makes sense, Wiz. Jay Leno from The Closet gained the most points, gaining 919 points, while CBC lost the most points, losing 827.
Ha ha!
I'm glad you suffer, Sleepy Zane. As we go to question number 5. Mannequin Pussy made their TV debut on which late night show? Conan, Everybody's Live with John Mulaney, The Chris Gethard Show, or The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson? The band Mannequin Pussy made their TV debut on which late night show? Conan O'Brien, Everybody's Live with John Mulaney, The Chris Gethard Show, or The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson? Now, do you know the answer to this one?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
Oh, I do.
Intern Coco knows the answer. Do you, chat?
Do
I will say one of you is making me very mad.
Oh, I'm excited to blow them up.
Oh, we're going to blow them up. And after this question, we'll do our wacky ticket reunification game, and I'll introduce my jokes making their TV debut. I hope so too, Lena the Geth. But let's see what you picked. None of you said Conan. One of you said Everybody's Live with John Mulaney, and almost of you knew that the correct answer is The Chris Gethard Show. Despite...
Wait, who got it? Who said the other one?
Despite what John Mulaney says...
You know, like a liar.
The correct answer is The Chris Gethard Show. Mannequin Pussy was on the public access version of The Gethard Show in the 2013 episode Glory Hole Kissing Booth, which aired on MNN, and the True TV episode Oops, We Got a Bunch of Exercise Equipment, which aired in 2017.
Who was it?
They were on Netflix on last Wednesday, neither of which is as real TV as MNN or True TV. And so John Mulaney, who appeared on The Gethard Show 2 episodes after Mannequin Pussy appeared on True TV, says he made their TV debut on Netflix when he could have just said it was their streaming debut. Also, in a goddamn article, John Mulaney referenced all of the shows that influenced his stupid Everybody's Live show and didn't mention the Gethard show, even though when the Gethard show got canceled, John Mulaney said that the Gethard show represented what TV should look like according to him. So he knows it's what TV should look like, but he does acknowledge it's a reference, an influence on the show that he's doing that jacks his format entirely, but is so bad at calling that everyone who watches it says that the call-in shows should be pulled.
What the hell?
Fluval.
Yes, Maddie.
Fluval.
Probably, but I don't know what his status was on the True TV years. Well, hopefully my jokes make it all worth it too. Okay, here's my jokes. Yes, destroy John Mulaney's planet. Okay. And now, thank you, Missy, information for that planet destroy. And now here's my jokes. I was coming
making their TV debut.
Yes, my jokes making their TV debut right now on Grand Trivia, never seen before on television. I was coming into my apartment building one night, and I saw in front of my building a wheelchair knocked over on its side, and no one in it? That's a bad thing to see. Something happened there. You hope it was a miracle, but probably not. Thank you. I was on a highway in Texas recently, which was like a highway filled with 13-year-olds. I was going in the far left lane, and then it turned into a U-turn only lane, and I started to make a U-turn, and then I panicked because I didn't want to take a U-turn. So I put the car in reverse and then merged right back on the highway. The best thing about that was that after that, the cars were pulling up and looking over to see who just did that piece of shit move, expecting to see like a 100-year-old blind dog who's texting while driving and drinking a smoothie. Instead, they see an ageless, healthy fish just trying his best. And then one final joke. I try to stay optimistic, even though I must admit things are getting pretty sticky. Here's how I try to look at it, and it's just me. This guy being the president, it's like there's a horse loose in the hospital. I think eventually everything's going to be okay, but I have no idea what's going to happen next. And neither do you, and neither do your parents, because there's a horse loose in the hospital. It's never happened before. No one knows what the horse is going to do next, least of all the horse. He's never been in a hospital before. He's just as confused as you are. There's no experts. They try and find experts on the news. We're joined by a man who just saw a bird in the airport. It's like, get out of here with that shit. We've all seen a bird in the airport. This is a horse. Loose in a hospital. Thank you. My wife's Jewish, but I'm not married to her anymore. Thank you. Those are my jokes. Thank you.
Amazing, Fluval. What an incredible TV debut.
Those all made their TV debut. I'm also going to be the voice of Spider-Ham in Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yep.
Never before told on TV until tonight. This was their first time ever on TV or streaming. So thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, Netflix, sorry, I beat you to all those jokes. And if you don't believe me, I also did that set in ancient Greece. So if you ever told those jokes, you stole them from me.
Yep. It's true.
Yeah, it's so true. And you know what's also never been seen on TV before?
What?
That's right, it's our wacky ticket reunification game where no money was exchanged to take part, and really nothing of monetary value is being given out. All that's given out is the satisfaction of forcing these tickets that would rather be apart to suffer much when you're making that be together, but they'd rather not. Much like John Mulaney wouldn't be with having to write an actual Joker originally. But imagine I told that well.
Really good delivery.
Imagine I delivered it well. Let me take that. Take that. Can I get that? Let me do that again. Excuse me.
Can you get it that clean? Okay.
These tickets would rather be apart, but you're forcing them to be together, just like John Mulaney and Chris Gethard's format. Hi-oh. John Mulaney should have said it was the late night debut of the Mannequin Pussy member Maxine Steen, because they were the only one not on TCGS. I think he should have said it's the Netflix debut of Mannequin Pussy.
It's also like...
because they've also been on Max, the one to watch.
Like, a person could easily have, like, come up with essentially the Gethard Show format.
Yeah.
Just by being, like,
sure.
around
It's an
comedy
established format.
and, like, not have heard of it. Like, they could have put all those pieces together without ever having heard of Chris Gethard. But Mulaney definitely did not.
Yeah, because he was on there multiple times and said it was what TV should feel like. He tweeted out that it's what TV... I'm going to pull that one up. We're not doing the game yet. I'm going to pull that up. It's real annoying. It's very, 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 very annoying. John Mulaney is an annoying man who phony apologized for drafting earlier tonight, if you missed it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Multiple times. Well, over the years.
I guess we shouldn't be surprised he likes stealing concepts because he is on SNL a lot.
That's the other thing, is if you're willing to steal from Chris Gethard like that boldly, who else are you willing to steal from and are stealing from?
As
right?
on Cracked, this is Jan McNabb's Cracked article from before Mannequin Pussy appeared on Everybody's Live. Everybody's Live with John Mulaney almost feels as though it's been scientifically calibrated to be as sloppy and chaotic as possible. While some viewers may find that to be insufferable, others might see it as a refreshing alternative to all those other talk shows that don't have a janky soda-carrying robot butler. Same-o. In a recent Vulture article, Mulaney name-checked some of his Netflix series' biggest inspirations, including The Dick Cavett Show, Larry King Live, and the 1970s punk rock public access show TV Party. By the way, TV Party, an episode that the special without Brett Davis did a whole homage to, where Mary Houlihan played Blondie.
Yeah.
She played Debbie Harry from Blondie on the TV Party episode. So if you want to see a great episode that is inspired by TV Party that actually acknowledges its references, go watch that. Conspicuously absent from that list, however, is The Chris Gethard Show. When the first iteration of Mulaney's talk show, Everybody's in LA, aired last year.
Sure, potatoes.
A number of people were quick to point out that it was basically a big-budget version of Gethard's experimental talk show, which began on stage at the Upright Citizens Brigade before migrating to public access theme channel M&M. Then Fusion, and eventually ending at True TV, which sadly pulled the plug after 26 episodes. As Nicole Rivkin said, "I love the new John Mulaney show because it's basically just the Chris Gethard show with a huge budget. As Late Nighter once pointed out, the shows really do share a lot in common, from unhinged sidekicks to the viewer phone calls framed around a certain topic, to the generally anarchic slapdash vibe. Even more specifically, both shows include funny descriptors when guest names are shown on screen." Mulaney himself was a guest on the Chris Gethard show on multiple occasions, and when it was canceled in 2018, he proclaimed the show, quote, "felt like how I always wanted TV to feel. Doing the Chris Gethard show felt like how I always wanted Doing the Chris Gethard show felt like how I always wanted TV to feel. It felt like how people describe early Letterman or Ernie Kovacs. Combine that with jackass and frank discussions of mental health. It was actually unique, and not much is, and Everybody's Live certainly isn't." To Gethard's credit, when fans began pointing out the similarities between Mulaney's Netflix show and his canceled series, he offered nothing but praise and positivity, calling it chaotic and funny and interactive and unpredictable and good. "I'm greatly enjoying the new show Mulaney is doing on Netflix. Chaotic and funny and interactive and unpredictable and good. I like live TV and phone calls and seeing celebrities slightly uncomfortable. I just like it. Exciting to watch. Fun to wonder where it's going." More recently, Gethard offered up his 2 cents in regards to what seems to be an ongoing issue for Mulaney: the phone calls. Miscommunications and technical errors have been making the call-in segments painfully dull, prompting some fans to urge the show to abandon them entirely. One call was so prolonged and boring that Mulaney decided to hang up on the guy mid-anecdote. After once again singing the show's praises and remarking that he wants everybody's live to succeed on a massive scale, Gethard suggested on social media that Mulaney should really be wearing an in-ear monitor for the phone calls, adding, "Just let me know if I can help in any other way. I really love everybody's live, and I'm probably more fascinated at its existence than anyone else on Earth, and I want it to succeed on a massive scale. So please, guys, let's get John an in-ear monitor for the phone calls, and just let me know if I can help out in any other way." That totally makes sense, and it would be kind of surprising if the show didn't take Gethard's advice, seeing as how it took so much other stuff from him. Right? Like, get Gethard on.
Yeah.
Gethard will be in LA.
Yeah.
In April for that show. Get him on the show. It would also be very funny if this is all a work and Mulaney's on that show on April 13th.
That would be very funny.
I don't think it is.
I don't think that's the case.
But that would be my hope. The best outcome of that would be that this is all a work to promote that show. And Gethard would do it. It would be very Gethard to do that.
Not Eric Germ. That was my first
No, J.M.
question.
McNair.
Yeah, you know, it's like, I like how now that John Mulaney is like making a bunch of jokes about how his wife is Asian, everyone's like, wait, but when he was making jokes about how his wife was Jewish, we didn't think it was weird. But now we're like, is he racist?
Yeah, it's not great.
If he's willing to steal from Chris Gethard, who else is he stealing from? Who else less established, less ingrained in the comedy community, less white man is he stealing from?
I mean, that is kind of the concern.
Like a liar.
But you know who tried to call out, who called out?
What?
John Mulaney.
Who?
The world's #1 vacation expert.
Yeah!
Said, peace and love at Mulaney. The Chris Gethard show featured mannequin pussy on live TV 7 years ago.
Peace and love.
And then people were like, is Netflix even television? And then also 12 years ago. And someone said, and the jerk said, fact checking doesn't feel like a very relaxing activity to me. Maybe saying you damn lane next time or Mulaney's gonna suplex your ass.
I feel like that is directly Vacation Jason's lane.
I think that...
I think that he is in the same lane.
Well, what is Vacation Jason's lane other than trolling talk show hosts? Like, trolling talk show hosts is Vacation Jason's lane, that and vacations.
Like, what? What
Also,
do you mean stay in your lane?
Also,
that's his lane!
Also, Vacation Jason's a professional wrestler, and John Mulaney isn't. So I feel like Vacation Jason and the human embodiments of a pineapple and coconut would win.
Yep.
And John Hamm.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah, that is his lane.
Yes!
Yeah. So, that's why Phony regrets picking John Mulaney to host SNL. Hello, Ford. You just miss us being truth tellers, being modern philosophers, and calling out John Mulaney as a thief.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear that John... I have a new game that it's making its TV debut tonight. I sent my viewers tickets, and they'll get to force these tickets that would rather be apart to be together like relatives at Thanksgiving dinner.
I do love that suffering fool. That is some delicious suffering.
Yeah. Well, it was very funny. Intern Forrest. Right? So there was briefly a tweet about it that got deleted, and then Intern Forrest was on the Discord and learned what happened and was like, "Nah, fuck this," and has been talking about it daily since and telling everyone he can about it.
But yeah, we're gonna play this exciting game.
So we're playing our actually original game.
Yeah. Oh, where we read out ticket numbers. That's right. If you have these tickets,
he's a total
tell us.
sleazebag.
Nice.
You know, like a liar.
Our first ticket. 3969 44 3969 44.
I have this new character. He's a human fish. Original character, do not steal.
You'd think a man who has stolen so much of his persona from vaudeville and fucking
And who stole his entire
Cat School-
sitcom from Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, Cat School's like you'd think that he would make less Jew jokes. Right? Yeah, like
Oh wait, he goes to. Oh boy,
yeah,
didn't
like
know he went to church.
yeah, he like. Sometimes you replace an addiction with an addiction.
He
to
stole his
Jesus.
voice from the critic, and then I said, "It stinks. It stinks. It stinks."
Our next
Take
ticket.
Me to Church, my original song making its TV debut. Take Me to Church.
396 806.
See, this would-
396 806.
This would be funnier if I could actually channel him well,
Yeah.
but I don't care.
Also, we don't want his repulsiveness to be
Yeah.
sullying up your aura.
Yeah, no, I know.
Fluval.
Yeah.
You are too pure.
Yeah. Like, I do think that my channeling of him sounds far more
You
like
know,
Jay
like
Sherman.
a liar.
Our next ticket. 3967 34. 3967 34.
Oh, I could do more readings of more original jokes in the style of Bill Clinton.
What?
What?
What is the style of Bill Clinton?
Last
Yes.
November, the strangest
Yeah.
thing happened. Now, I don't know if you've been following the news, but I've been keeping my ears open, and it seems like everywhere is super mad about everything all the time. I try to stay optimistic, even though I must admit things are getting pretty sticky. Here's how I try to look at it, and it's just me. This guy being the president, it's like there's a horse loose in the hospital. It's like there's a horse loose in a hospital. I think eventually everything's going to be okay, but I have no idea what's going to happen next.
That's like...
A ticket reunification, Maddie.
Which one did Maddie have?
34. This last one.
Oh.
I did not have sexual relations with that Jewish woman. Basically.
I was on a highway in Texas recently, which was like a highway filled with 13-year-olds. Excelsior! I was going in the far left lane, and then it turned into a U-turn only lane, and it started to make a U-turn. But then I panicked because I didn't want to take a U-turn. So I put the car in reverse and merged right back on the highway.
You betray the law!
Continue.
Law. 3969 72.
396972.
Yes. And finally, 3969 17. 3969
3969.
17.
17.
972? Oh my god. 2 winners!
Wow.
Are you sure you're not copying each other the way John Mulaney does?
I'm channeling David Letterman.
I thought you were channeling Scooby-Doo, honestly. You're just on the same wavelength. You're just... I feel like the winning of tickets was in the
for
room.
real comedy fun.
Get ready for real comedy fun. Also, I'm hearing where someone else wants to do a joke. What? Why isn't it working? There we go. I was coming into my apartment building
It's a Charlie
one night,
in the
and
box.
I saw in front of a building a wheelchair knocked over on its side, and no one in it. That's a bad thing to see. Something happened there. You hope it was a miracle, but probably not. Goodbye.
Everyone's favorite friend, Charlie.
I do like how
box.
Charlie is slowly winning people over.
Yeah.
People were so furious at Charlie in the box, but at least he never stole Chris Gethard's show format.
Yeah.
So you got it. He's got that going for him.
Everyone's favorite friend.
Much like our leaderboard has Jay Leno from the closet.
Who was it who answered that it was John
I'm with
Mulaney's
Coco
show?
Walk Run. Got it wrong.
Oh! Should we take away your winning ticket?
Nah.
For that's a light.
No, we'll just send it to John Mulaney instead. Jay Leno from the closet in first, the Missy Baiting Bear in second, LeBlago in third, Jeff Peterson, the gay robot skeleton in fourth, Moines Franco in fifth, Carson Daly in sixth, Topala Cotenlist. Oh, Topala Cot 10 list, like the top 10 list on Letterman. Paul Schaefer's glasses. I'm with Coco Walk Run. I cannot do a monologue, but check out my Thaco in 10th. CBC in 11th, Jan Fulani in 12th. The John Stewart Bro in 13th. Kevin Eubanks in 14th. Did you hear about this?
Good night
in
and good Clonwynby.
Mulaney, when asked about stealing Geth Valor, that's a thing I'm sensitive about.
Oh my god. Has he said that?
No, he hasn't. He has not acknowledged it at all.
No, but about has he said that he's sensitive about certain questions? About anything? I'd expect there are things that a person
he has said
can
he's
be, but...
sensitive about being high-waisted and having feminine hips.
Oh.
Yeah, one of his jokes is, "Hey,
Is
look at that
why he got all
high-waisted
of
man."
That plastic surgery.
One of his jokes is, why should I tell it when? Hey, look at that high-waisted man. He's got feminine hips. And I'm like, no, that's the thing I'm sensitive about. My feminine hips, so it makes me a misfit toy, according to my schoolmates.
Like a liar.
Like a liar.
Yeah, I heard he came up with a really good motto, lose well.
Lose well.
Ah.
That was about how 13-year-olds are the meanest people in the world.
That is the single relatable joke.
Yeah, John
Mulaney
Oh.
has.
Now,
His
John
one
Mulaney-
act of solidarity with the trans community.
John Mulaney says that 13-year-olds are the meanest people in the world because they'll bully you for being high-waisted and having feminine hips. You know what? I say I'm the meanest person in the world because... the 13-year-olds can't mock you anymore, but I'm still here. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Fluval.
John Malazy joke writing. Look, I never said I was a writer. Get out of here, Charlie. As we now return to our game of late night trivia. Look, was this entire trivia topic chosen as backwards from wanting to rag on John Mulaney from stealing Gethard's format? Maybe. What I know is question 6 wasn't. Which of these is not a real Ben & Jerry's flavor inspired by a late night show? I'm with Coco, late night snack. Stephen Colbert's Americone Dream, or The Tonight Doe starring Jimmy Fallon. Which of these is not a real Ben & Jerry's flavor inspired by a late night show? I'm with Coco, late night snack, Stephen Colbert's Americone Dream, or The Tonight Doe starring Jimmy Fallon.
Look, it's hater spring. Being a hater has never looked better. Time to drink our haterade.
I'm just in my Kendrick era.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So I could write some trivia out of spite. It wouldn't be the first trivia
That's a
written out of spite,
trait.
probably.
That is not true. Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be the first trivia we've written out of spite.
There's definitely been other spite trivia.
Yeah, being a hater has made you powerful.
Honestly, spite is one of the biggest motivators in my life, personally.
Give in to your anger. It gives you focus. Makes you stronger. Oh, yeah, he also had Chappelle open for him on the tour.
Yeah, which was gross.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, he's got to know that, like, that was fucked up, right? And they're like, oh, but, like, it's because they're old friends. And,
But
like,
I'm sensitive about that.
He doesn't know that all of his, like, fans are a bunch of queer kids. Like, oh, my God. And it's like, no, he does. He just doesn't give a fuck.
I'm sensitive about palling around with a bigot.
And he got a bunch of plastic surgery to make his jaw look super square. And when hope dies,
You know, like a
spite
liar.
remains.
When hope dies, spite remains.
Exactly, Summersbane.
My original motto, making its TV debut on Netflix.
Every comedian does that.
Oh yeah, every comedian. Oh, spite is the power. Spite is the fueler of comedy.
Yes.
And look, James. Oh, so look at James Adomian. How many of his impressions are just pure spite-based ones now? Like Gorka is a spite machine. Elon
What is
Musk.
Gorka?
It's a Trump cabinet member, Sebastian Gorka.
Oh, okay.
Where James Adomian interrupted the special as Gorka, with acting like a Bond villain with a sword.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yes! Spite!
John
We're
Mulaney's
on the front
new-
lines for Spite!
John Mulaney's new comedy album, Career Suicide. I also heard that John Mulaney has a new podcast, New Jersey is the World.
Gorka! In DSM,
Now look.
he did a fifth as the various Munchkins.
Oh, Zizek, that's true. Zizek and Ventura are out of love for sure.
Yes. Who? Mulaney?
Adomian.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
I was like,
Come on.
that's kind of a fun idea.
Come on,
Was that Mulaney?
No, that's got to be Adomian. There's no way that's a Mulaney bit. Mulaney is always John Mulaney. Mulaney's two personas are John Mulaney and Spider-Ham. And Spider-Ham's kind of just John Mulaney.
Oh, jealous
Except for the animation.
mask.
Mulaney's new album, Low Hanging Fruit. But don't worry, Mulaney will never rip off Planet Scum. Because he likes making money. Now let's see what everyone picked. Oh, hello. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
8 of you said I'm with Coco. 2 of you said late night snack. All of you know about Stephen Colbert's Americone Dream, and 1 of you said The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. The correct answer is, in fact, I'm with Coco. The rest are all real. Hello, Harvey.
Fluval!
Hello, Harvey.
Fluval, do a little spin.
Hello, Harvey. Hello, Harvey. Hello, Harvey. Hello, Harvey.
Do you like his little flips, Harvey?
Hello, Harvey. Hello, Harvey. Harvey. Hi, Harvey. Look at me, Harvey. Oh, Harvey. Hi, Harvey. I'm moving around. Motion. Whiz.
Who inspired
Jimmy
Late Night
Fallon.
Snack? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon also inspired Late Night Snack. It was while Jimmy Fallon...
That is so
That's so true.
Mr. Fallon.
It was while Jimmy Fallon was hosting Late Night that they did that. Late Night Snack and the Tonight Dough are both Jimmy Fallon-inspired flavors, where proceeds from the sales go to Serious Fun Children's Network of global camps for children with serious illnesses.
What?
I realized it was written weird. It goes to a camp where kids with serious illnesses can go have a fun summer camp.
Okay, it's not a place where serious illnesses go to have kids.
No. No, it's also not a camp where they send children who have illnesses for some eugenics program, which is what I thought it sounded like when I read it out loud. But
not tasty suffering.
No. And Late Night
That
Snack.
suffering is sour.
Late Night Snack and Tonight Dough are the same flavor.
Take care at Congress.
But when he moved from Late Night to The Tonight Show, they renamed it The Tonight Dough instead of Late Night Snack.
Yeah, John Mulaney just started like going to schools to do improv and teach kids about mental health.
See, this is the Late Night Snack inspired by Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. Oh, it's actually a different flavor, but it's still him.
Americone Dream is the best one.
And then Americone Dream is a flavor that debuted during the run of the Colbert Report and remained even after Colbert took over the Late Show.
Yeah, I don't like the Tonight Dough, but I really
Americone
like
Dream.
Americone Dream.
Intern Forrest also reports that Americone Dream is good.
Delicious.
And because the name of the show of the ice cream,
fair.
Because Americone Dream wasn't named after the Colbert Report, he just kept it, even though it doesn't really make sense anymore with like Colbert's persona.
We did get Ben and Jerry's ice
I guess because
cream.
he's like a resist person, it kind of makes sense.
I got.
Intern Forrest also got.
And Intern Forrest got some Ben and Jerry's ice cream from the Ben and Jerry's ice cream store. And I got 2 scoops and forgot that Cherry Garcia existed.
Intern Forrest also should have gotten Cherry Garcia.
Like, as we left, I was like, you know what this would be good with? Like, some kind of fruit. And then I was like, oh my God!
Yeah. Americone Dreams proceeds go to the Stephen Colbert Americone Dream Fund, which benefits charities of interest to Colbert and his writers. And as of 2022, the Colbert Americone Dream Fund had raised $4 million for charitable funds.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
Chunky
just
monkey,
Ben and Jerry's,
fruity,
though.
father.
That's just Ben and Jerry's. It's a great question.
Is the volleyball stadium?
All it has, like, it's founded in fudge-covered waffle cones. This caramel swirled concoction is the only flavor that gets a scream of approval from the Late Show host Stephen Colbert.
Oh.
What's sweeter is this flavor supports charitable causes through the Stephen Colbert Americone Dream Fund.
Oh.
That's all we know about it. It doesn't say what individual charities they ended up at, but it's Colbert's, like, probably actual charities.
Yeah.
Like,
most likely.
He doesn't seem like it would be a scam from him, but I don't know. Wiz can probably find these answers. American food really is something else. I mean, Taco Bell had a whole damn presentation about it.
Yeah, we haven't looked at that yet, have we?
No, we haven't watched Live Moss 2025 yet. We'll have to do another Taco Bell trivia. This money goes to the charity of Stephen Colbert. My wrist strong bracelet says wrist strong. Intern Forrest had a wrist strong bracelet, but it eventually broke. Which is a shame. Because it would be great to still have that wrist strong. Not going to do research and miss questions. Nice try. Well, let's see if you'll miss our leaderboard, where Jay Leno from the closet is in first. The Missy Baiting Bear in second. LeBlago in third. Jeff Peterson, the gay robot skeleton, in fourth. And Carson Daly in fifth. There's still room to join Ford as we go to question number 7. According to George Lucas, Admiral Mahdi is named after which of these late night hosts? Conan O'Brien, David Letterman, Jay Leno, or Jon Stewart? Imperial Admiral Mahdi, who gets choked out by Darth Vader after questioning his sorcerer's ways, is named after which of these late night hosts? Is it Conan O'Brien, David Letterman, Jay Leno, or Jon Stewart? Live Mos Eisley. The Sith don't live Mos Eisley. The citizens of Mos Eisley live Mos Eisley with Sith-inspired tacos, but the Sith themselves don't live Mos Eisley. And it's I understand the confusion, but it's a key distinction. This is an insane trivia question, Sleepy Zane, but let's see what everyone picked. 0 of you said Conan O'Brien, 5 of you said David Letterman, 4 of you said Jay Leno, 2 of you said Jon Stewart. The correct answer is, in fact, Conan O'Brien.
Ooh.
So none of you got it right. This has definitely come up on this show before. I don't know how none of you got it right. The character's name is Conan Antonio Mahdi. And Star Wars and the NBC.com did a whole blog post about it. Yeah, he was named after episode 4 came out. Yeah. Did you ever notice the protocol droids walk like this? How does it work? George Lucas went on the show and said the character's name. Hey, I find your lack of... This is from 2007. I find your lack of faith disturbing. Hey, what the haps? San Francisco Conan Week continues here in the beautiful city by the bay as we hit our Hump Day show. Can you believe this week is already half over? I cannot. It feels like I've been here forever. In a good way, yo. In a good way. The madness is spreading after George Lucas's appearance on our show yesterday. For those of you sinners who didn't see this show, we did a bit.
Sinners.
Yeah, for those of you sinners who didn't see it. For those of you sinners who didn't see the show, we did a bit where our resident Star Wars expert and associate producer Jordan Schlansky came out during Lucas's segment and tried to stump him with an obscure Star Wars trivia question. George nails the answer, and then Jordan is nailed with the ass stamp. Great, right? Well, we had no idea how great this would actually turn out. See, the question that Jordan asked involved a character from the first film, the guy who gets strangled by Vader, whose full name was never mentioned in the actual movie. In fact, he's only referred to in the credits where he is listed as Admiral Mahdi. George asked Lucas Admiral Mahdi's full name, to which Lucas replied as a joke, Conan Antonio Mahdi. No big deal, right? Wrong. See, because Lucas is the supreme creator of the Star Wars universe, when he says something, it becomes real. Oh yeah, I think you hear what I'm saying, party people. There is now an officially owned Star Wars character named after Conan.
Party people.
How awesome is that?
What?
How awesome. 2009 was something else, huh? We sure wrote differently then. How awesome is that? The Star Wars Wikipedia has already incorporated the change into Star Wars mythology. Man, this week couldn't get any better. All right, I gotta run because a bunch of us are going to the Giants game tonight, and I hear there's a little poker game going on in the hotel lobby. Sweet. I love taking money from fools. Wish me luck, y'all. I thought he said Conan, and I was like, what? But hey, way cool. Also about the gender gap, I was thinking there are not as many female entertainers, but what the fuck? Oh, Aaron responds, we have lots of women on our show. Rosario Dawson, Zoe Bell, Cheryl Hines, Tina Fey, Molly Shannon, Mary Lynn Rajskub, Martha Stewart, and Tyra Banks were all on in April. I think that's pretty good, right? I love poker. I got to watch the show last night. I'm watching Leno right now, waiting for Conzi to come on. No more missed episodes. Good luck on the poker, hon. I love poker, but I'm one of those who keeps upping the ante even when I'm not winning. And I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but that bit when he went to Lucasfilms was great. Can't wait till tonight's episode. If you do in fact play poker, make sure to let me know how you do. Aaron responds. I actually didn't make it to poker last night, which means I still have money in my pockets and a twinkle in my eye. There's always tonight, though. What?
I like how that first comment, it's just the way that it's giving, like, Gene Roddenberry being like, well, obviously women today in the 60s aren't the equal of men, but in the future they definitely will be. I'm a feminist.
That comment was also ahead of its time in a way.
Sleep with me.
That comment was ahead of its time because they had binders full of women. And the 2012 election hadn't even happened yet.
Binders full of them.
I love George Lucas and I love Conan. This is from Anonymous, who I swear is not Intern Forrest. I love George Lucas and I love Conan. Thanks for signing my daughter's school book and my t-shirt. He loves you too. Thanks for watching. Man, that's so sweet.
They just can't be captains.
Man, that's so sweet to have a Conan in Star Wars. Mahdi will rise to stardom, mark my words. I always thought it was Ken Kercheval, the evil guy in Dallas, who played this role, which is why I was excluded from the Star Wars fan club. If there's going to be a new addition from Star Wars, George should implement Mahdi cracking up a Conan joke before he gets gripped to Vader. Be cool, my babies.
I'm going to wear my H.R. Geiger t-shirt so proudly now.
Aaron responds.
Get ready for real comedy fun.
Ha ha ha, nice. Buddy. I love this incredibly long comment that's just about one of the restaurants that sponsors the show in San Francisco. This is not a Star Wars comment, but since Sam Woe, not Sam Woes, is a major sponsor of the show in San Francisco, here is some historical background on the restaurant. For many years, the restaurant was a personal fiefdom of a waiter named Edsel Ford Fong, now immortalized by a food concession at AT&T Park. And it just goes about the history of the restaurant. That's fun. Is Conan a big Star Wars fan?
Suffer Missy.
Isn't everyone? Yeah, Sam Woes is gone. And then the last one, Stephanie says, I thought you might like to know that Admiral Conan Antonio Motti has a role in the upcoming Star Wars novel Death Star. Sue Rostoni from LFL, Lucasfilm Limited, has released the Dramatis Personae on the official Star Wars site forums here. Look towards the bottom of the page. Missy, well, I mean, don't worry. That's question 7. There's not that many more questions left.
Suffer.
And then here we go. Just for Missy, I'll speed through this. Jalen from the closet in first, the blogger in second, Joe Peterson, the Gear Robots Skeleton in third, Missy Bidwell in fourth, Carson Daly in fifth, and Moise Franco in sixth, Paula Quill, John HeyListen. You get it. Anyway, here's question 8. According to George Lucas, Obi-Wan's home planet is named after which of these late night hosts? Conan O'Brien, David Letterman, Jay Leno, or Jon Stewart? According to George Lucas, Obi-Wan Kenobi's home planet is named after which of these late night hosts? Conan O'Brien, David Letterman, Jay Leno, or Jon Stewart?
I'd probably tell him. I'd just tell him I'm with Lobot.
I'd tell him I'm with Lobot. Insane. Fool Aloof says. Insane, says the Fool Aloof. Well,
insane.
Let's find out what the answer is.
Trixie Fluval.
Together.
Hello.
2 of you said Conan O'Brien. None of you said David Letterman. You mean he's not from planet Letterman? 2 of you say Jay Leno. 7 of you said Jon Stewart. The correct answer is, in fact, Jon Stewart, as described and outlined on the official StarWars.com celebration site. Where they said main event at Celebration 5 with Jon Stewart and George Lucas.
Wow. Is that Kathleen Kennedy?
No, that's Carrie Fisher.
Oh. It's a very small picture.
It's Mark Hamill.
That's not George Lucas?
No, George Lucas is in the back with the beard.
Yeah,
Mark
I thought
is
that
up
was,
front.
Okay, I thought that was Jon Stewart. I thought that was Jon Stewart, and in
that's
the
Jon
back
Stewart.
Was George Lucas and some lady.
As you can see, it's quite a turnout at the main event of Celebration 5, says Jon Stewart. That's just like your show.
Reminder that George Lucas is in fact
That's
a billionaire.
just like your show, only with smaller audience.
A billionaire who does not
Lucas says.
believe in capitalism.
It's like my show, only popular. That's right. I believe in democracy, but I don't believe in capitalist democracy.
Yeah. Exactly.
They want to know who Jon Stewart looks like. But here, wait. Shh. This is one of the first... wait, what am I doing? I gotta...
Oh. George, welcome. Welcome to the show, George.
Thank you. About Obi-Wan's planet of origin. This is one of the first things I wrote in the very first script. Sirs Lucas, me. He comes from the planet Stewjon. Naturally, Jon Stewart finds this somewhat amusing, if not vaguely suspicious. Also, R2-D2 brings on a robot. I mean, a stormtrooper named the Stewart Trooper. It's a stormtrooper action figure that looks like Jon Stewart.
Oh, I think that looks like Jon Stewart.
I'm surprised and entertained.
Merchandising.
And it says short storm, but it's crossed out.
Merchandising.
There it is.
Merchandising.
You gotta get the merchandising.
Merchandising.
It helps to be nuts.
Circumstances.
While filming A New Hope, how did Lucas stay positive given everything was turning against him? It helps to be nuts. I think you've just written the title of your autobiography. You have to have such persistence and be so stubborn and just say, I'm right. I don't care what the rest of the world thinks. That's the only way you can do it. March forward no matter what happens. You just keep going no matter what the odds are to get there. On A New Hope, and even then on Empire Strikes Back, it was very dark. Even after A New Hope, getting the next film going was very, very difficult. Yeah.
Incredible.
And they asked if I wanted to name him Luke Ginsburg, and I said no. It was Luke Skywalker.
Bruins?
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Bruins. It's a hockey team.
Oh, know. I was like, because it's the UCLA Bruins.
Not everything is about you.
Everything is about you, Fluval.
Yeah, exactly. George, okay. Well, you know, maybe I want them to be surprised and entertained by the construction site. Yeah, I did. I wrote them all in there. There's, I'm Anakin, I'm angry, I'm Padme, and I'm sad.
Providence Bruins.
Oh, I'm sad, I'm Padme. My heart's broken.
What a brilliant writer you are, George.
I'm the king of wooden dialogue, as I said at my AFI Lifetime Achievement Award.
Be ruined.
Be ruins, Providence. Well, you know, you passed my test, Argyle.
Nah.
You got it right. Yeah, I hate sand. I wish sand would die.
They are sick as hell.
I'm the emperor, and I experience the emotion of wanting power. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you get how deep my writing is. Well, I'm Lot God, and I'm a corrupt capitalist. Bye.
Goodbye. Bye, George. Goodbye. Oh, hello.
Okay, hello. I'm no longer channeling George Walton Lucas.
Welcome back.
But I am channeling our leaderboard, where Jay Leno from the closet is in first, Omoinus Franco in second, the Missy Baiting Bear in third, LeBlago in fourth, Carson Daly in fifth, the Jon Stewart bro in sixth. I can't do a monologue. Yeah, he's George W. Lucas. I can't do a monologue, but check out my Thaco, and that's why in the 2000s there was a good George W. and an evil George W. Perfectly balanced, as all things shall be. Jan Fulani in eighth, Topala Kotenlist in ninth. Yeah. I'm George W. Lucas. I believe in democracy, but not capitalistic democracy. You know, we have a saying in Tennessee. Well, we have a saying in Texas. You probably have it in Tennessee that fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, the fool can't get fooled again. Yeah. Well, you know what can get fooled again?
What?
Question number 9. True or false? In the 2000s, Gordon Shumway hosted a late-night talk show on TV Land. Is that true or is that false?
Who's Gordon Shumway?
He's he's a celebrity from the 80s.
What did he celebrity?
He had a sitcom.
Is that all?
Yeah. Well, no, he had a sitcom. There was a cartoon based on his sitcom also.
What was it named?
I mean, in a sense, it was the Gordon Shumway show. I can't believe you don't know who Gordon Shumway is. Nick Pruer of the Found Footage Festival is obsessed with Gordon Shumway.
There's no Shumway.
Yeah. That guy was sick. He ate cats. He did eat cats. That's true.
Ew, really?
Yeah, he ate cats.
Oh! I get it.
But you might know him by his nickname of Alf.
Yeah.
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 Let's see what everyone picked. All of you got it right. It's true. He had a show on TV Land called Alf's Hit Talk Show. And this is the website where none of the videos work because Flash is broken.
Was he played by Gordon Shumway?
No, the character of Alf is named Gordon Shumway.
Alf's name. Okay.
Alf's real name, he's Gordon Shumway from the planet Melmac.
Amazing.
Alf is just short for alien life form.
Incredible.
The pilot for Alf's Hit Talk Show was... Alf's Hit Talk Show was originally going to be a one-off lead-in for an Alf marathon on TV Land. But the pilot was so successful that TV Land greenlit 6 additional episodes of Alf's Hit Talk Show.
Incredible.
And then those 6 episodes failed to gain enough of an audience for it to continue beyond that. But there was an Alf talk show.
I like how I went through all of the emotions when you said he eats cats. I was like...
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't have made a racist joke. No. Was there a person who just ate cats?
And his sidekick was...
I feel like they would have made a joke about that on Family Guy. Like...
And his sidekick was just Ed McMahon.
Wow.
Like, his sidekick was straight up Ed McMahon, not as a bit at all. He just had Johnny Carson's sidekick.
David Tench tonight? Who's David Tench?
An Australian VTuber.
From star-studded Hollywood, California, it's
Alf's Hit Talk Show.
Wow.
Alf welcomes comedian Tom Green, actress Linda Blair, jazz great Jack Sheldon.
Alf's Hit Talk Show.
And me, I'm Ed McMahon. And now get ready for an alien encounter. Here's
Wow.
But I do love that. I love that it had this budget. You know? Like, they built a set, they got a studio audience.
All those people to just be like,
Yeah.
Whoa! Wow! That all for me, man? Wow, thank you! Wow! You guys are great. I haven't had this many people screaming at me since I cut off that bus full of nuns on the freeway.
Incredible.
No, obviously he does the entire monologue from the desk. Because he's Alf. Oh, fuck. I cannot even.
Hawaiian shirts.
With you don't like the hard cut off of Alf talking about cutting off a bus full of nuns? Since it's all on YouTube. You can watch it on your own time where you won't get demonetized. Or not demonetized, we're not monetized, where you won't get it listed at all. It was incredible timing. You know, they say comedy is all about time. Here's our leaderboard, where Jay Leno from The Closet is in first, LeBlago in second, the Missy Baiting Bear in fourth, and Moinas Franco in fourth. A Carson Daly, who's up too late, in fifth. Jeff Peterson, the Gay Robot Skeleton, in sixth. I can't do a monologue. But check out my Thaco in seventh.
Thaco.
Topala Co 10 list in eighth. Or Top Ala Co 10 list in eighth. Comedy is all about two timing. I'm quickly learning today, especially late night. Paul Schaefer's Glasses in 9th. I'm with Coco Walk Run in 10th. CBC in 11th. Jan Fulani in 11th. The John Stewart Bro in 13th. Kevin Eubanks in 14th. Did you hear about this? In 15th. And the Fork Knifely Show in 16th as we go to question number 10. Why do late night talk shows start at 11:35? Is it because of the Gulf War, the Super Bowl, the Thursday night movie, or 9/11?
What the fuck?
Why do late night shows start at 11:35?
You know, I never thought about that.
Yeah. It is weird, isn't it, that they start at 11:35 and not 11:30?
I, one, didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And two, never thought about that.
Yeah. Missy thinks they picked the wrong one. Well, probably.
Ha ha ha.
That sounds like a lowly third dimensional being thing to do.
Ha,
Most
ha,
of you
ha,
have picked the wrong one. So.
I like that.
I love that. I love when most of you suffer.
Me too.
Yeah, Redactron got it. It's the Gulf War.
What?
As noted on Mental Floss, when the Gulf War began in the summer of 1990, the affiliates intensified their campaign for more news time, insisting that they had to cover the Gulf War. NBC acquiesced by temporarily moving the start of its late night block from 11:30 to 11:35. But once the local stations had those 5 precious minutes, they refused to ever give them back. And Carson tried to resist moving the show back because he knew once you gave them any time, they'd try to push it to midnight, which they eventually did with Conan. Like, that's why Conan left. They got Conan to quit because Conan was saying, if you move it to midnight, I won't do the show anymore. And Jay Leno was saying he would quit unless they put his show in the Tonight Show slot. And so it resulted with Jay Leno getting the Tonight Show back because Jay Leno didn't want to quit anymore. But the correct answer is, in fact, the Gulf War. Locals had to, and it's because they had to fight CNN. Because CNN was doing 24-hour endless coverage of the Gulf War. So.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. Can't do the Tonight Show tomorrow. Exactly. That's why. That's the other reason it's stupid, is the Tonight Show should start tonight. But also SNL helped inspire the creation of the late night slot. Because the NBC saw how successful SNL was and like, well, we have the Tonight Show during the week and SNL on the weekend. Our differentiator versus the other networks is that we have the powerful late night block. Like ABC's was sports coverage and CBS's was news. Yeah. Okay. I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
But now, I think our leaderboard's interesting. where Jay Leno from the closet is holding on to first place as we go to question number 11, where you have to wager your points. This question is about late night and late night shows. Lock in your answers now.
Lock them in.
Do you know what this is? What this question is?
No.
Good.
I mean, I might know what it is.
Doesn't seem like you do. All in as honor demands, says WizWorld Live.
That is very true.
You are without honor if you don't go all in.
That is also...
Going all in is only logical.
Yeah.
Also, the trailer for Strange New World Season 3 is out today.
Ooh.
And it begins very 60s.
I love that.
Too bad that inspiration wasn't Fridays. Right.
Blood War Comedy Edition.
Which of these is a real element of the horror attraction Jimmy Fallon's Tonightmares? Jimmy Fallon's mouth is sewn shut, so he can't host the show. Jimmy Fallon is engulfed in flame when the Tonight Rider explodes. Jimmy Fallon turns into a werewolf while hosting a 1950s talk show, or zombie versions of previous Tonight Show hosts attack Jimmy, except for Conan.
You definitely told me about this earlier this week, Fluv, and
Greetings, Gumshoe.
Yes, Gumshoes, can you solve this question? Which of these is a real element of the horror attraction Jimmy Fallon's Tonightmares? Jimmy Fallon's mouth is sewn shut, so he can't host the show. Jimmy Fallon is engulfed in flame when the Tonight Rider explodes. Jimmy Fallon turns into a werewolf while hosting a 1950s talk show, or zombie versions of previous Tonight Show hosts attack Jimmy, except for Conan. The Tonight Rider, by the way, is the ride vehicle from the Jimmy Fallon Escape from New York ride.
I see.
Not Escape from New York, but the Jimmy Fallon ride. Ah, so funny. Blind guess. Crap. A is actually a dream scenario, especially if it occurs off cam. But would it be a dream for Jimmy?
I mean, it doesn't...
A horror attraction just be the Fallon Frito-Lay ad on a loop. What about the Jay Leno Doritos ad? Or the State Farm Jimmy Fallon ad.
Ha!
Yes.
Ha! Suffer a ghost bro.
One of you said Jimmy Fallon's mouth is sewn shut, so he can't host the show. None of you thought it was he explodes. 3 of you said it was when he turns into a werewolf while hosting a 1950s talk show. 4 of you said it was the zombie. They're not all 4 real. Oh God. The real one is Jimmy Fallon turns into a werewolf while hosting a 1950s talk show. The rest are all real, as mentioned in Vulture's review of Tonightmares. All of the guides are dressed as spooky NBC pages, and Jimmy's voiceover introduced our guide to us as Taylor, saying, Taylor's in all my Tonightmares. Our Taylor had an Igor-like disposition, and she really gave this wordless performance her all. The werewolf was a standout Tonightmare. The highlights were the rooms that felt specific to the overall theme of the experience, like the Tonightmare, in which Fallon is the host of a 1950s talk show who gets bit by a puppy and turns into a werewolf. The room was themed like the backstage of an old late-night show, with black and white TVs showing Fallon in horn-rimmed glasses handling a golden retriever, so i.e. Fallon in Steve Allen cosplay.
Ho-ho. Behind
a larger illuminated screen, which was meant to look like a thin divider between onstage and off, we could see shadows of Fallon transforming into a werewolf before a scare actor popped out for an in-person attack, and a second one jumped us from behind, which I love makes it sound like the werewolf mugged them.
Yeah.
And then the werewolf stole my phone. Now let's go to our leaderboard, where there's been quite a few changes, with Amoynis Franco taking first place because they gained 3,750 points on that question. The Missy Baiting Bear in second. LeBlago in third. Jeff Peterson, the gay robot skeleton, still has points, as does Jay Leno from the closet. I can't do a monologue, but check out my Thaco. I'm Coco Walk Run, CBC 9000, the Jon Stewart Bro, and Paul Schaefer's Glasses. There's more, says WizWorld Live. There is. As we go to question number 12. Wager your points once again.
Wager them!
Yes, you could have won. You still could win. But you do have to navigate this extra dangerous part of my trivia gauntlet. Where for you every question is all or nothing because you have honor. Your honor holds you back, Wiz. All in. Late night indeed. Exactly. The show about late night trivia has to go late. I mean, the Tonight Show has started already on the East Coast.
That is a good point.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Which of these is not a real Star Wars-inspired Late Night with Conan O'Brien character? Chewbacca, liposuction Jabba the Hutt, masturbating Wookiee, or R2 Mr. T2? Which of these is not a real Star Wars-inspired Late Night with Conan O'Brien character? Chewbacca, liposuction Jabba the Hutt, masturbating Wookiee, or R2 Mr. T2? WizWorld Live knows this because he just watched it. None of the above. No, one of them isn't real. One of them is not real. Ahum named Maddie. They're not all real Star Wars inspired late night characters. Remember that giant whale costume? Yeah. Remember that?
No.
No, I do though.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I do.
Fluv.
I do remember that. Well, I mean, let's see what you all picked. 4 of you said Chewbacca. 0 of you said liposuction Jabba the Hutt. 4 of you said masturbating bear. So either way, 4 of you are getting it wrong. I mean, let's take a look at the clip.
On your hair before the show, I visited you in the dressing room, and you can do it when you want to do it. No, it's all a special effect. Yeah, very nice. So much to talk about. I can't believe it's the 30th anniversary of Star Wars. Does it seem like 30 years to you?
Seems like about 130 years.
130 years. Well, I'm curious because at the beginning, everyone now, the film is such an institution. It's become so mythologized. But in the beginning, the studio had problems with your concept. They did not like the title Star Wars.
No.
Why?
They didn't like it because they thought it would be a film about Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah, they didn't want that.
They thought it would be really about celebrities.
Big movie stars fighting.
Yeah.
Right.
Sort of the Baldwin.
You tell him, George.
Sort of story.
Right. It could have been. It could have been equally exciting.
I love George. I also can't help but escape the fact that we have seen 2 men being shouted out by their audience. Rush, it's why are you a murderer? George, it's George. Yeah. So I think that's more of a guide to life.
I think. So initially your concept was that it was not going to be Luke Skywalker, that his name was going to be Luke Starkiller. Is that right?
Yes, it started out as Luke Starkiller.
Yeah.
It went through a lot of evolution.
I love his toad jowl. And I like how his facial hair highlights it.
It was more about Anakin Skywalker. Starkiller seemed like a better name, and then when I
I wouldn't be surprised, Lena.
Got to it, the backstory wasn't there, and it seemed better to make him less menacing and less.
Well, also, it's a good thing you changed it, because if you hadn't, today you'd be trying to invite celebrities to screenings at the Starkiller Ranch. Come to the Starkiller Ranch! I'd rather not, if it's all right with you. You finally, after 6 films, you finally put yourself in the last one. Why did you wait so long to put yourself in the film? What instigated you to initiate this? What made you do it?
My kids wanted to be in the movie, and since I decided this was the last shot at this sort of thing, and they wanted me to be in the scene. So
it's such a George answer.
Yeah, my kids talked me into it.
What about the character? The character's name is Baron, what is it, Papanoida?
Papanoida.
Yeah. And did you have any say over the costume? Because we have a photo here, and I wanted to show that right here. Let's take a look. There you are as Baron
Conan
Papanoida.
does have the sideburns of an A New Hope character right now in this clip.
Yep.
I like him from The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a Captain Crunch feel there, too. Just a tad. It must stun you how the fans of Star Wars...
Yeah, it does.
Unlike any other fans, they have mastered every detail of the films.
And his hair is so good.
They know the mythology so well that it must stun you. Occasionally they must challenge you. Okay, here you are, George Lucas. You're getting some coffee. I bet you can't answer this question.
Well, I have the advantage in that People don't know that my middle name is actually W. So I am the other GW.
Right.
And I am more than the decider. I'm the creator.
You are the creator.
Oh, eat shit, George Bush.
My employees, you're very confident. My employees call me God, but my children call me garbage.
Well, we have. I want to see how good you are.
My children
Jordan,
call me
who was featured in the remote, believes Jordan Slansky believes he can stump you with a question. Jordan thinks he's the best. I think we should bring Jordan out right now. Jordan, is the man?
That's the man who's. Harrison Ford broke that man's Millennium Falcon Lego.
Jordan, your Star Wars trivia question for Mr. Lucas, please.
Well, as we all know, there's a very famous scene in the original 1977 film where Darth Vader uses the Force to strangle
we're watching
an
the whole
Imperial
segment.
officer. Now, although his name
Stay
was
awake,
never mentioned in the context of
Missy.
the film, it was listed in the end credits. What is the name of that
Yeah,
character?
that's the Lego Falcon guy, yeah.
It is Conan Antonio Motti.
Hey, correct! Is it Marty? I guess it's Marty. Well, George got it right. Congratulations and thanks, Jordan. You
rock, George!
You're doing a Star Wars television show now.
I would love to. I would love to rip those and make them sound drops that GLTS could use. So that if Connor really hits something, I'll just you rock, George.
Is that correct? You're working on one. It's in development.
Yeah, it's an animated series about the Clone Wars. It's very much Star Wars.
He was working
It's
on
not
Clone Wars.
South Park comedy.
Right.
It's not a kiddies SpongeBob SquarePants. It's sort of the first dramatic animated show that is.
That's right. It's not a kiddies SpongeBob SquarePants, and the South Park was detours. He would eventually try to make his South Park.
Hell of a lot of having a great time
Excellent
making
marketing strategy.
Yeah.
You'll love it, and you'll never see it.
Detours.
If you don't mind, we have a couple of Star Wars characters that we would like to audition as possibly being in the show. Is that
okay? Yeah, sure.
If you don't mind.
Do it.
All right, first up, I hope you enjoy him. Let's get him out here right now. We call him R2 Mr. T2.
Here's R2 Mr. T2. I'm going to mute this for a sec while he's out there because I pity the Sith. Yeah, you get it? We got you pity the Sith. Like Mr. T. George approves. I'm going to keep talking because they're playing music underneath this. And then next up, it's a Wookiee of Faith.
That's right. It's the
it's the liposuction Jabba. And it is interesting. It's like it's a great effect.
That is a good puppet.
And it really.
And finally, we have.
He looks so much more like a worm too.
And finally.
And yeah, he's never coming back.
We have a Wookiee with deep-felt religious beliefs.
Here he
dating back
comes.
to the Old Testament. Please welcome
Chewbacca. Now, Chewbacca is not as well done because that is just the high-end Chewbacca costume that was famous for not being like the best Chewbacca costume.
Well,
that guy also loves Chewie.
You like that last one, yeah. You know what? We cannot. I cannot thank you enough. You were one of our big wishes for this week in San Francisco. Thrilled to meet you. Thrilled to have you on the show.
See, that was
amazing.
It was the fake one that we made up was masturbating Wookiee, which I obviously don't approve of.
Yeah.
Because that's a gross third-dimensional practice. But I approve of it in a more interesting way than like right-wing chuds, you know?
Yeah.
They disapprove of it for biblical reasons. I disapprove of it because it's a lowly third-dimensional trait. Very different things. Just like our leaderboard. I know Missy has not talked in a while, so may have fallen asleep. Amoynis Franco still in first. The Misty Baiting Bear in second.
How many questions do you have, Fluval?
One more.
Okay.
Jay Leno, it is said 8 out of 13 this whole time. It is said out of 13 the whole time. Jay Leno from the closet in third. Jeff Peterson, the gay skeleton robot, in fourth. And Nick and I used to sign off our improv late night show with "Fuck Jay Leno," and those are my winner's words. Wait, more? Good Lord, Frankie, Jesus fucking Christ! Here's the final question. Wager your points again. Well, you should have. You got 7,500 points. You have 15,000 points right now, Wiz. Yeah. You got points. You have 15,000. I think you may have set a show record with 15,000 points. All in with 15,000 points. As we get to the final question.
Get ready for real.
If Wiz knows this too, it's going to be wild. Here we go. The Found Footage Festival's Nick Pruer was head researcher at which late night show? Late Night with Conan O'Brien, The Late Show with David Letterman, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, or The Tom Green Show? The Found Footage Festival's Nick Pruer was head researcher at which late night show? Late Night with Conan O'Brien, The Late Show with David Letterman, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, or The Tom Green Show?
Who's Tom Green?
He's a Canadian who had a Tom Green show. He was Freddy. He was the titular Freddy who got fingered, and Freddy got fingered.
Huh.
He had the Tom Green show. He accidentally inspired Joe Rogan to create his empire because he had Joe Rogan on the show he did at his house.
Oh.
And then Joe Rogan made the Joe Rogan Experience. Yeah, he used to be Drew Barrymore's husband.
Huh.
Okay, well, let's see what you picked. One of you said Late Night with Conan O'Brien. 0 of you said The Late Show with David Letterman. 0 of you said The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. 5 of you said The Tom Green Show. Well, I think to find the answer, let's take a look at Nick Pruer with his old boss. That's right, his old boss is David Letterman, which means no one got it right. Wiz navigated that trivia gauntlet and whiffed it at the end. Fuck you, says Wiz World Live. The correct answer is, in fact, The Late Show with David Letterman. And the Found Footage Festival now actually has all of the tapes that The Late Show had assembled and features them on their YouTube series, VCR Party Live, where you can see many great tapes that were from Letterman's archives. And they also both worked at The Onion, by the way. So now let's see who won our game of trivia after Wiz whiffed it at the end. In third place, it's none other than, oh my god, I can't do a monologue, but check out my thaco. In second place, Jeff Peterson, the gay robot skeleton. And your winner is the Missy Baiting Bear.
Missy Baiting Bear!
And Wiz World Live's Amoinus Franco ends the game with 0 points, losing 15,000 points on the final question, meaning Wiz must be the record setter. Wiz must be the person to lose the most points in the history of Grand Trivia on a single question. So you want a place in the history books, Wiz World Live, even though you lost. Yes. And of course, you should be sure to watch Wiz World Live this Friday, where you're doing a April Fool's-esque show. And you did disprove PBT's doubling rule.
That is true.
So yes, be sure to watch Wiz World Live this Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, as part of the Neo TGIF block. After Video Hell System, before Nakamus's Night Owl TV, which will be showing Millennium and the X-Files. And I want to thank you for joining us and the former randoms for this, the Neo Must-See TV block. We'll have more trivia for you next week of a topic yet to be announced. So we'll see you next week with Twin Peaks trivia. Because Twin Peaks debuted on April 8th, 1990. So next week, we just announced it. It's Twin Peaks trivia.
Woo!
And we'll see you next week because that trivia you like is coming back in style. And we have your coordinates. Just kidding. We'll send something to Missy, but there's also something you all get to enjoy.
Here he comes, swimming closer than farther away.